All right, Joe. So that's the end of the Western Conference Finals. And on the other side, the Spurs. The Spurs made it to the NBA Finals, and they are about to face the New York Knicks, a 27-year Finals rematch in the making. Spurs facing
99.
the Knicks. They're favored to beat the Knicks once again. They faced off 3 times this year. The Knicks won the series 2-1. They also won the in-season tournament, who nobody cares about, but, it's something. Where Jalen Brunson got dongjin by Josh Hart.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Knicks starters are 29.2 average age versus the Spurs starters 24 average age, which excludes Dylan Harper, which would make them much younger. This seems like a conversation that we had maybe 3 podcasts ago or 4 podcasts ago about this new school. It's all about young players. You got to have the young guys versus more of the vets. Joe, let's start here. All day or cray-cray, the Spurs will win the NBA Finals.
So, okay. I mean, I have to go cray-cray. The Knicks have been my pick.
They have been your pick. You have been spotless in this playoff
I've been
run.
all over the Knicks. I was never worried against the Hawks. We didn't even talk about their second round because it didn't even matter. It was just not even... It didn't matter. And then the Eastern Conference Finals also didn't matter. And so we didn't talk about it.
We rarely talked about the Knicks. We just talked about the Cavs because, of course, Harden's there.
But the Knicks have been rolling. There are very few I think the last time anybody has had an 11-win streak like they have in the playoffs was 2017 Warriors. And they obviously won the championship. That was an all-time historic team. And I just think this Knicks team is way better than people think. I think they're going to surprise people. I don't know if they'll win game 1, but I would not be surprised if they took game 1.
They're going to win game 1.
Yeah, I think they will win game 1.
I'm pretty certain.
I texted you, Cliff, right after the Spurs won, Knicks in 5.
Because you did.
Because that's what my gut tells me, but I'm actually going to go Knicks in 6. Okay. Just because I want to show the Spurs respect. But I want to say a few quick things, Cliff, why I don't like the Spurs right now. 1, they were incredibly motivated to beat OKC.
Of course.
Incredibly motivated.
Yes.
And they had the whole world behind them. Okay, like it was one of those Dallas 2011 situations where everybody's like, these are the Los Angeles Mavericks. These are the Golden State Mavericks. You know what I mean? Like
St.
everybody
Louis,
in the world.
Montana.
Doesn't matter. It was the New York
Boise,
Mavericks.
Idaho.
Like everybody was behind that team. I was like so invested in that finals. I was watching it more closely than I would watch when the Lakers are in the finals. I'm just like, Dallas needs to win this. Like Dirk is my
save
guy,
the world.
right?
Save the world.
Exactly, Cliff. Save the world. They saved the NBA universe. And what is the exact conversation that has been happening in this Western Conference Finals? These Spurs saved the NBA world. They saved the NBA universe.
Preserved it from foul baiting. Good guys win.
Yes. It is one of these parasite taking over the world situations. I don't know if you watch Pluribus, but it's one of these Pluribus situations where there is just the OKCs are taking over the NBA world, and you need somebody, okay? You need a Carol to just stand against everyone and be like, Carol Wembanyama, who is going to stand against the world.
Carol Wembanyama.
Be like, I am going to stop this parasite from infecting the NBA so that everybody becomes a bunch of foulers and floppers. However, I don't think they're going to enjoy that against the Knicks, right? I think there will be more people rooting for the Knicks. I think a lot of people love New York. I think that all the New York fans are going to come out. New York is probably as hyped as it's ever been I think they're more hyped now than in the 99 finals. That was a lockout season, if people don't remember. And also, that team wasn't that great. You got Allen Houston. You had an older Ewing. It was, wasn't a great team. This team is legit. Okay? That's one reason. I'll give you two other real quick reasons. Two, Spurs way too emotional after Western Conference Finals. Yep. They were crying. Wemby was like at a loss for words. Okay, people weeping. Their grandma passed away or something. Like, it was just like crazy out there. It was like wedding days and births of first children out there. Okay, like those were the tears that you saw. To me, that's a little too much celebration and not enough jobs not finished.
Jobs not finished. Yes.
Third thing, Cliff. I think the Knicks have. This is controversial. I think the Knicks have the best player in the series.
Not just the best closer. You mean the best player.
I think right now they will have the best player in the series. Oh, and I just realized I jumped the gun for the next one. But I think Jalen Brunson has been like not the best player in the playoffs, but he has been the perfect player in the playoffs.
Okay.
He has done exactly what his team has needed at every juncture, right? When he needs to not do much, he doesn't do much. And a lot of credit to Mike Brown, because I think they've created a better offense where it's not so Brunson-centric. But in the fourth quarter, the Knicks have a very clear identity. They know what they're trying to run. The Spurs, I haven't liked really any of their fourth quarters. Like the whole Western Conference Finals, their fourth quarter is just chaos. It's like, let's just create chaos. Everybody's going to run around and do everything. And we need somebody to step up. Keldon Johnson has to hit some big threes. Champagne has to hit some big threes. Vassell has to hit some big threes. Dylan Harper has to go one-on-one at least a couple times. De'Aaron Fox needs to get in the lane and Stephon Castle has to have a crazy block. Luke Cornett needs to chase down freaking
the greatest block I've ever seen.
Yeah, and have the best LeBron chase down block, better than any of LeBron's ever. Right? It's like, how often are you going to be able to rely on that? Cliff, to me, that's just pure adrenaline. Like, you are living off of adrenaline and effort. And once the finals comes and there is micro analysis between every game, I don't think that's going to work. You got to out scheme them to beat them. That adrenaline's not going to carry you the whole time at this point. And I don't like how Wemby's played in the fourth quarters. Apart from the huge 30-footer he hit right early in this, that was huge. Apart from that, I honestly don't remember a lot of things that he did, impactful plays in the fourth quarter. He's had a shot here or there. A lot of the shots he even made, I hated. It's a lot of this stuck in the middle of the lane, double pivot, falling away, and just
one hand.
Remember early he was getting a lot of dunks.
He was.
After game 2, I don't remember Wemby getting any of those lob dunks.
They sealed him off from it.
They sealed him off, and it really limited his. He is not a great one-on-one offensive player. If he's not making threes, if he's not making some kind of long jumpers, his offense is super limited. So on the other hand, Jalen Brunson, it's you cannot stop this guy. He's not SGA. This guy does not fall down. Okay, he is not SGA is kind of like a Reggie Bush to me. He's jukey guy, but kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson is a freaking.
He's a bulldog.
What's up?
He's a bulldog. Lendell White.
MJD, Cliff. A small, just don't get in front of him though, because he'll just literally run you over. Do you know what I mean? He's gonna that's the kind of they hit the hole.
Guys.
Yeah, but they're strong. Do you know what I'm talking about? They're not doing all these jukey moves, right? They just hit the pocket and they're bam, they're just bulldoze their way through there.
He's Marshawn Lynch.
Beast mode. Marshawn Lynch. When you look at Jalen Brunson, all of a sudden you look at the Spurs defenders that have been giving everybody problems, and you're kind of like, they're not that strong. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're not that. Like, they give SGA problems because you just body him.
Yeah.
Right? Is Stephon Castle gonna give Jalen Brunson that much? You know what I mean? Like, is that kind of
nobody's
physicality?
gonna give anybody that much trouble.
I don't know. I think Dylan Harper can, but he's young. He's a rookie. Is he gonna go crazy in the finals? I don't know. So, look, I have the Knicks. I think they're gonna surprise a lot of people, and I think the Spurs are gonna. We haven't seen it at all yet, but now in the finals, I think there's gonna be a little bit of a mental, like, pressures, where it's actually gonna affect them.
I mean, exactly what you said is why they're going to lose game 1. The come down off the emotions is going to be wild. Like, they don't have that same level of intensity going into game 1. It's impossible. You can't go like max reps and then you go max reps right after your max rep. You got to cool down. That's just normal. That's just normal life. So they're going into this Knicks thing just amped up, coming off a cool down in the next 4 days. They might get blown out.
I don't think they'll get blown out just because the way they play prevents that from happening too often. But
I think they might get blown out.
I think the intensity is going to be different, and I'm not sure that they're going to be ready for it.
It'll be different. Luckily, they're in front of their home fans, which gives them a chance to kind of get back into the swing of things. But the Knicks have played great on the road. They played great at home.
Like, to what you said, the Knicks have been doing this the whole season.
Yeah.
Just the whole, like, and then throughout the playoffs, they're kind of just ascending still.
Ascending. Yep.
Spurs
slowly ascending.
Spurs have been a roller coaster, right? Even
of course, because they're young. They're young.
Yeah, they're
the
up
youth.
And down.
The youth. They don't have that established sense of like, this is how we're supposed to do it. They're, again, I texted you this. They're a bunch of rabid wild dogs.
Yeah.
They are just going, attacking, and I love that for them, especially against that OKC series. It's going to be a little different with the Knicks, who are a lot more polished in a lot of ways than OKC was, Especially without Jalen Williams, they did not look polished. And the Knicks Chet and their third best player.
That's the thing. Without Jalen and they didn't have a lot of top level talent. Like, the top of their roster was thin, OKC, right? Especially because Chet played so bad. The Knicks have a lot of weapons. OG's been playing well. They got McHale. They have Cat, who right now, they don't need him to be their second best offensive player, but he's playing great. And then they have Jalen Brunson, and then they have Josh Hart. So they have a bunch of guys who can just get hot. They have a lot of guys who can get hot and who are established players, not like AJ Mitchell, who, what did I say, Cliff, what happened to him in this series? He would disappear? Yeah, he disappeared because he's not that level of player. He's not used to being good all the time. Whereas a McHale, an OG, a Cat, like, they are used to it. They are 20-point scorers. Like, they can be that guy. And so it's not unusual if they average 20 points for a whole series. For AJ Mitchell, it's extremely unusual if he averages 20 points for a whole series.
But the difference between Caruso and Dort and, Case and Wallace compared to McHale, Hart, and OG is that not only do they have great defense, but they also make shots. And that really is going to be a big change in mentality, that you can't just come off Jalen every single time. Those guys are going to hit shots.
Yep.
And so with OKC, you throw everybody at SGA and it works, You throw everybody at the Ant-Man and it works. You know, it's different with the Knicks because these guys actually make shots.
Well, the crazy thing is because they're using that play where Cat initiates the offense, you can't even double. I mean, unless you want to double Cat, which I guess is fine.
Which is
but
not
he's
the way.
tall. Yeah, and so it doesn't work, I think, the same way. And he's big. It's not like he's a small guy. I don't think doubling him really creates the kind of situation you want. And so, with SGA, it's like every time you get him the ball, you can just double him. Because it's like, this guy needs to initiate the offense every time. With Cat, when he's initiating it, Jalen's on the other side of the court, and they're running this little 3-man game, on the left side of the court. So that activates all of these players. Jalen's on the other side as a release valve. So what are they going to do to really stop that? And if Wemby's on Cat, that even pulls Wemby away from the basket. So, what are they going to do about that? I'm sure they'll have a plan. I'm sure Mitch Johnson will come up with something, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. You can't just I think the big thing for the Knicks is they got to hit threes. Yeah. If they hit threes, they will kind of, not easily, but they will handily win the series because the Spurs are not going to be equipped to deal with that. It's going to have to pull Wemby away from the basket, and then all the lanes are going to open up, and that's just like a disaster, right? So if they hit their threes, they let OKC take a bunch of threes. I don't know if OKC
take a ton of threes, wide open
a ton of threes. Yeah.
Look at Jalen Williams. How many shots did that guy get?
Yeah. Sometimes they were hitting, sometimes not. But I think the Knicks will be able, if they just give them those wide open threes for all the Knicks shooters, Josh Hart, OG, McHale, and Miles McBride, and they're going to hit them, right? So you can't just let them just shoot threes. Yeah, but if that happens, that's what I think will happen. They're going to force the Knicks to make threes, but I think the Knicks probably will.
One more note about what you said, which was point 3, which is Wemby in the fourth. This is exactly how I felt about Anthony Davis back in 2018, where I was like, he does not have a go-to shot. He needs somebody to facilitate for him, and that's why he struggles, even though he is the best player on the court most nights. He can't finish a game because he doesn't have that. Put him in the triple threat position, ISO him out, and go get me a bucket, right? Smooth bucket. Honestly, Dylan Harper is much more equipped to do that.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know his own go-to move. But he has a lot of go-to moves.
His bag is
endless.
Sick.
It is endless.
Sick. His spin move's so good. His tween, like behind the back is so good.
Yeah.
Man, his stop and go, so like his hezzy is so good.
His hezzy, I love his hezzy.
And it's very just subtle, though. Do you know what I mean? It's not fancy. It doesn't look fancy, but when you really analyze his bag, it's so deep. And so
that it freezes guys. You don't know what's coming.
He's like sick. He's gotten me out of my seat more times than anybody throughout the whole Western Conference Finals.
Remember I told you Dylan Harper reminds me of young Kobe? This is a lot of like, oh my, his footwork should not be this good at this age. But it is. It's like,
what impresses me about him also is like he's strong.
Yeah.
He's very strong. Like they try to knock him off his spot. He kind of just absorbs contact and finishes at the rim. He got fouled a lot that didn't get called, because OKC's just hacking all the time.
Yeah.
But so I agree though. Wemby needs a go-to move. He's a little. I wouldn't put him at the Banchero level in the fourth quarter because he's at least creating advantages. But the other thing I was going to say is that he gets tired, Cliff. He gets fatigued because he's like small frame. So he's doing that all game. By the end of the game, when he's trying to get to that like in the lane spin move, he has no legs, right? You can see it every time. That's why he's almost falling down. He's like putting the ball on the ground. He's almost falling down. He turns around. He has to shoot kind of an awkward shot. And look, sometimes he makes it, but would I trust that that's going to be his, that's going to be your go-to move? You catch the ball, fall down, get up, turn around, shoot off the wrong leg and like make it. Like, that doesn't feel very good to me. Like, I don't think that's going to be a sustainable way to generate points in the fourth quarter.